All good afternoon, everyone,
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
and welcome back to our second session of manual handling. Undertake manual handling MEM 11011. As a trainer, my name is Rajendra Kumar. I'll be taking our training for this second half in our session, and we'll be talking about moving forward with undertake manual handling training. As asked before, student conduct is very important. That student must use appropriate behavior and do not include threats, insult, or abusive language. Aggressive behavior such as yelling and others is not acceptable. Please maintain that. A student must not engage in discriminatory conduct like treats another person uh, another because of gender, age, religion, martial status, disability, or national origin. Students must not engage in harassment. Harassment is when a student engages in behavior that is unwelcome or which offends, humiliates, or intimidates others. So thank you very much. And a student should not engage in rude or disrespectful communication. Thank you very much for that. And just a quick, brief introduction from each of you. Vikas, again, please, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Vikash, and I work in one of the rental companies. I look after the fleet, mostly in charge of the vehicles, maintenance, and yeah, maintenance work and stuff like
Thank you.
that.
And Miss Kali, please.
Hi, I'm Kali Kumar. I'm the teacher in early learning service. I do train a lot of colleagues in my team. Do have students who attain from TAFE and from uni. So that's me.
Thank you very much. And Miss Karishma.
Hi, my name is Karishma and I am a nurse. Thank you.
Oh, that's quite an easy one. So we'll a recap on the previous session that we did, which was back injuries, causes of back injuries, what forces are involved in it, and like what causes a repetitive and sustained force, high or sudden force, repetitive movement, and exposure to vibration, and then manual tasks like handling tools, repetitive work, steady work, and vibration. And back injuries, what back injuries you can sustain, which will be spinal disc rupture, nerve compression, muscle spasm of the back or hip, aggravation of the pre-existing generative conditions, and ways to control hazard related to back injuries. We talked about redesign the work and the manual task to eliminate or minimize the degree of handling. Do you remember all those?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Yep.
And what other sort of ways can you control? For example, if you're sitting down for too
Taking
long.
breaks.
Good one, Karishma. Taking breaks. Uh, any other one? Because
Yeah.
like when you when you're doing your work, the type of work.
Yeah. Mostly we have mechanical stuffs where we lift heavy objects like tires, and
Yeah.
sometimes customers comes in and they
Hmm.
have heavy luggage, so we have to be careful, like how we lift them up and not knowing whatever the weight is for that baggage and stuff like that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. And we left in pushing and pulling. And the ways to control hazards associated with walking postures. So I'll share this screen again with you. Can you see it?
Yes.
Um, because
Yes.
ways to control hazard associated with walking postures. You can see that. See, this is the back,
Yep. I can
and
see.
like ways to control hazard associated with walking postures is high risk postures are caused by what? Poor walk area design, such as low benches, the nature of loads, such as obese patients, bulky and large items, and non-ergonomic design hand tools. Sometimes when you say non-ergonomic, most of the office chairs or most of the chairs that we do have in the workplaces nowadays is even any of workplace, they try and use most ergonomic chairs. What do you understand by ergonomic? Can anybody tell me that?
Chairs that are stable, not movement much, or wheels on wheels, but has to be suited to your weight, height, and your back resting on the back poster.
Good, good. Anybody else?
I think that's tools which is designed according to the patient's preference or maybe medical condition.
That's another thing. The term ergonomic relates to the ergonomics of a chair. The chair or any equipment that you usually use to do your work is designed to accommodate your style of body, like you said. So the
Yeah.
chair, most of the, like if you go and buy a chair, you say, I want an ergonomic chair. Most office chairs are ergonomically designed, which is you can sit straight, your body is kept straight, your posture is straight, your hand is straight at the right level of the bench, a height of your work desk. That's what I talk about ergonomic design
Hmm.
hand tools. So the second one is load handling, loads that are lifted, pushed, supported, or held for some time. That they are the high risk postures, that causes individual workout characteristics such as a height and reach range. So ways to control hazards associated with walking postures is like a bag, place tools and walk other walk items so you don't need to bend forward or reach. Use a sometimes you know what a scissor lift. Most people, I mean, do understand what a scissor lift is. A scissor lift is something which is designed like that, and then when you close it, it goes like that. When you unfold, it goes up like that. So you maintain that height. Sometimes they have a portable hydraulic jack lift where you can put your walk and then release it, it will come down. So things like that. And then on the neck, avoid looking up, bending forward excessively or protruding your neck forward. Use as inclined walk surface. Walk with documents or displays directly in front of you. Use a jig to reorientate the workpiece. And the arms, elbow and wrist, your legs. And I think I must have forgotten one thing. I think I've given you a task each to talk about, and I forgot about that. Sorry about that. I think this is the time I think we get each and every individual to talk about their tasks that you want to talk about.
Can I talk about mine?
Okay, thank you. You can go ahead first.
Okay, my work is more related on children, picking up children's resources or teaching resources, sitting on the chair when you're documenting something, and then all of a sudden you have to get up and reach up to the folders or portfolios and grab something from your chair. Really sudden and quick movement.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we don't think of that sudden movement. We want to do it really quick, and we do use a lot of force when we get up in and without thinking how we grip the tools that we want to use, and that could affect our body, the way we bend down, the way we lift, the way we pick things really sudden quick, and reaching up high from the chair instead of getting up and then reach up. We just want to sit on the chair and grab it. those rotations of our back, neck, shoulder can be damaged or can be in risk. So
That's good. Yeah, yeah, it's true.
mm,
And is that all?
yeah, basically, or sometimes we see we have to train colleagues and they bend down and pick the children up, and they
Okay.
don't think about how to bend and lift the children up when they want to give them a cuddle or they're picking up a little baby. So they do it really quick, and then in few days later they will say they've got sore back because they bend down and pick a child up, or it could be a 3 year old pulling educator's arm, which just happened not long ago, pulling an educator down, and she falls over. So she didn't think of keeping her body control and movement when the child is pulling her down. She should bend down if the child is wanting her to come down to the child's level. Instead of just giving your arm to a child, and all of a sudden you feel your whole body falling over because you were relaxed and you didn't know how to control your body yourself.
Oh, that's good. Thank you very much for your. That was a very good
Step on an
explanation. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. And because I think you, who wants to go next?
Yeah, I can go next.
Thank you.
Oh,
Most
so
welcome.
my line of work is totally different from teacher on top there. Uh, we have like many heavy works to be done, like talking about vehicles, mechanical stuff. I do mechanical stuff at work as well. So changing from tires, small things, bending down, lifting. So sometimes we have to lift it up, but that way sometimes even when I go home I could feel that I have done it wrongly. To prevent that, like we have some equipments like belts to do that, but sometimes it doesn't help as well. Yeah, that's a high risk of getting our mostly the back pains.
Do you use sort of any sort of supports like a back support or belt?
Yeah, we do have it our workplace, but we usually don't use it when we are attending a breakdown going out on the roads, and sometimes the tires are worn out and we need to change a tire for a customer. Then we don't have supports over there, so we do it anyhow. So yeah, that's a factor of getting our big injury. And
Are you? Do they plan of doing anything about it, like in future, getting something in place so you don't have?
yes, yes, will for in future, like after getting doing this course and learning the stuff, so I will definitely go in back and use the protective measures and go forward with that.
Good one, good one. I like that. Thank you very much, because I think the last one, Miss Karisma.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about my patient. At work, I usually transfer my patient from bed to chair or maybe wheelchair and then from wheelchair back to bed.
Mm-hmm.
So we always use this manual handling technique in order to prevent ourselves from injuries or sprains or strains. And we always train on this. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we also have tools and equipments which can help us to move these patients so that we are not at the risk of injuries. And even to prevent patients from falling, we have to use these techniques as well at work. So when we move a patient, we have to make sure that we are not using our whole body weight to move a patient. We let them move themselves. We are just assisting them. And on top of that, we tell them to hold onto something or grip onto something to stand or to get out of the chair or to out of the bed. And if the patient cannot entirely move, then it's always to assist. For example, if a patient is too heavy or cannot move, It's always two staff who will be assisting the patient to move, not one staff. So these are some policies or some legislations which is very important at work, and we always have to abide by that. If someone sees me handling a patient alone, I will be at a fault or I will be in a trouble. So for me, it's important to go through this manual handling policies at work.
Oh,
Well done, Karishma.
thank you. That was a really. I learned a bit more about your fields. I think I have learned from all three of your presentations that you have the task you had to do and explain and talk about it. I have learned, like she's a nurse, Karishma is a nurse, and Miss Kali is a teacher, and Mr. Vikas is the mechanical engineer, automotive engineer, and he's handling a lot of uh, other workers with him. And like you said, he's learned a lot from this unit of undertake manual handling, which he was aware, but he wasn't aware of the legislative sort of cost or application about it. So thank you very much for your presentation. I think we'll move forward. And as you see in this screen is the repetitive and static positions we're talking about, and ways to control hazard associated with repetition. Some repetitive tasks can be eliminated by job redesign. You know, most places they are job redesign. However, other repetitive tasks or activities of long duration can only be reduced by altering exposure through work organization factors such as sharing the load. When they say sharing the load, ask customers to give you a helping hand. If it's, or sometimes when there's a lot of bending and twisting, repetitive static movement, like you are doing a lot of that, then you can either ask for some help, or you can have, like a second one said, automate the task. You can have, if it's a like, repetitive, instead of you doing it, you can have a machine doing that all the time, you know, and you get automatic controls of that. And then the other thing is change the task order, alternate repetitive tasks with non-repetitive tasks. So what you do is, what would you do? Like when they say, if you do for like half an hour, like somebody said over there, you break it up and do some other task. Don't you agree with that? Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what would you do? How would you rotate that tasks? What do you think? What do you do in place of that? Some other tasks? Would you do some other tasks? Yes?
Yes,
Yes.
he can do some other task, take break.
Yeah, you can do some other tasks, which is where there is not too much twisting for another half an hour. Then you can come back and do it again on the same task. So you can break that task. So
Yeah.
mostly that's what is involved in most of the time. That's when you break a task or repetitive movement and do something else, where you're not doing your bending or repetitive movement. You're doing just something else, like sitting down and doing a bigger task. Like sometimes on a conveyor, people sit down and then they like put the matchbox. Simple example is matchbox. Put it here and put the match in there, and then put it back, or put a container and then put it back. Check a fish on a conveyor. It's just repetitive. They're doing that again and again, again and again, all the time. So that sort of things has to be in place where the his. So what it is, you have to restructure the job to allow for more variety, allow for adequate recovery and regular rest breaks.
Movement,
Yeah,
irregular movement.
yes. And then the other one you talked about is vibration. Vibration through the whole body can damage a person's back. For example, a truck driver, because
Yes.
you've got a lot of knowledge in that, exposed to vibration through the seat, the foot pedals, and steering wheels. It's a lot, maybe not in the cars. The modern cars are very comfortable at the moment nowadays, but the big trucks, vibration are sent through the hand or arm from tools such as chainsaw and jackhammers, affect the blood circulation. Like sometimes when you use, like the ladies would have used blender or something, when you hold it for too long, you get numbness in your hand. Have you ever come across like that?
Yes, we
Uh,
did.
yeah,
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 numbness.
definitely.
See? So
Especially
yes.
using power tools like jackhammer and power tools at work, vibration comes a lot from there. If you're
Mm,
not handling it properly,
yes. So I think I'll go again and try that video and see what I can. I hope we should get no volume. Still no volume.
no, still no video.
I can't see the video.
Yep, you can see the video.
Like move slowly, avoid twisting. Hang on a minute. I'll go back. See here,
Hmm.
they say move slowly and avoid twisting when you are lifting, and keep the load close and maintain control. Be aware of your surroundings and don't overdo it. Like you can see in the video, pushing. So what they're using is for using it manually. There's variety of products in the market, and they will probably use you have to push, you might use a forklift. And most of the time they do use forklift. See, like that, they're using that. But there are other product design like that pellet truck that he's using. See this person? See him?
Hmm, that's wrong.
What did you see him doing wrong?
No,
Not
no, that's
using his knees properly. Back.
There were other means.
Yeah.
You can see that again. Let's watch that.
no, no, that's correct.
And that was the correct movement
No,
of
that's correct.
weight close to
Like
him.
you name, yeah,
Hmm.
that's
Yeah.
correct.
See, there was, what I could see in there is
Instead of using his manual body, he should have used that fully.
he could use other gadgets that were available,
Mm.
you know? So that's what I look at it. Like on this other video, on the video 4, you can still see that. See him
Yes.
using that's called a pallet truck.
Hmm.
They take the weight of the load, and he keeps his natural posture, and he puts his legs, uses his legs to push it forward. And when you move forward, maintain your steady pace, and then he looks forward and look for potential hazards. There's no jacking involved, and then he slowly slides it in. And the capacity of those pellet jacks are sometimes like 1 to 2 ton. Mostly they are like probably 500 kilos most of the time. I'd say 1 to 2 ton. No, sorry, not 1 to 2 ton. It's about 500 kilos most of the time. See there? Did you see that?
Yes,
The same person.
I see that at my work a lot.
he tripped over there.
See? See? So he's taking unsafe handling.
Mhm.
And now we're going into pulling. So sometimes the pulling is unavoidable. So you take great care using some other technical equipments, like see that they are pulling. Before that was pushing one, and
Mm.
this is a pulling equipment, a pulling movement. So see, the equipments are used for pulling. See, like this one, there's a danger of the load coming force against you. See there?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very unsafe.
He was pulling but unaware of the surrounding.
See there? It can
Yeah.
come on top of your feet.
Unaware of the surrounding.
Mm. So the best design for doing that is
Forward.
so to summarize, avoid manual handling,
Assess the
assess the
situation.
situation and
Reduce,
tasks,
reduce the risk.
reduce the risk, work
Work.
within your limitations,
Mm-hmm.
control your movements, don't overdo
Do.
that. Okay, and I think I'll ask you a few questions more in regards to this. Pushing will go on number question 6. Can you see?
Yeah.
Yes.
Number 6, pushing and pulling heavy loads requires forceful exertion that may strain the neck, back, and shoulders. List the three phases involved in this action. List one each. Karisma, can you list one?
I don't understand the question.
Question number 6 is pushing and pulling heavy loads requires forceful exertion that may strain the neck, back, and shoulders, right? List the three phases involved in this action. The three
Mm.
phases that is involved is like starting the load in motion.
I
Pulling,
think
pulling in wrong posture,
This could one of that.
not looking at your surroundings.
Hmm. Anybody else? I think this is a very difficult one, but it's very important one, which is like I'd say number one is starting the load in motion. It's the first thing you do is using usually requiring the most exertion. Starting the load, you've already got the load, like you've seen on the with the pellet jack,
Mm-hmm.
and he had the load to start the load. That's the most exertion you're gonna create, more force needed, either pulling or forward.
Yes.
But when it's in motion, you just sustain that motion. You don't have to exert too much force. And then the other last one would be
Assess the
stopping
risk.
the load from moving. You want it to stop. That's where your starting and stopping will have more load forces acting upon your body. That's what it says. Pushing and pulling heavy loads requires forceful exertions. That's what they're talking about. Pushing and pulling, but
And exertion.
and they were asking for examples. There's
Mm-hmm.
three phases. Phases mean examples like what they showed in the video. Understand that pretty well?
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you very much. I think that's all for the class today. And if you could all, thank you very much for attending this class, and then give me a feedback, a written feedback through my email as to how this course went and what did you gain in this course. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It was a
Bye.
pleasure being in this workshop. Thank you.
Thank you very
Great.
much for your
Yeah.
coming.
Bye.
Thank you very much.